Hello friends, welcome back. Today's video is going to be about a sensitive subject. It's a topic that I noticed is trending on many different content creators' channels. It seems to be a trend on YouTube, at least within this niche, and it caught my attention. I'm going to be honest, I have been called this word, and I wanted to go a little bit deeper. I wanted to do a little bit of self-discovery. I wanted to share it with you. But I'm talking about a very sensitive word, the N-word. And you might have guessed I'm talking about the word narcissist. And I don't know if it's because I'm making the type of content that I'm making, but the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm, is extremely good. It's intentionally created to serve up content that you would be interested in, that I would be interested in. And because I'm making the types of videos that I am, the algorithm has assigned me a certain lane. And while the channel's new and growing, and I am blown away by all of you, all of your support, all of your encouragement, all of your kindness, all of your love, all of your support, it means the world to me. This topic continues to come up in my feed. And so I couldn't help but notice these videos. And I also remembered when someone called me this word. And truthfully, I didn't really know what it meant. Now, I thought I knew what it meant. And I thought that I knew what the traits were or whatever. But I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a counselor, I'm not medically trained in any way, shape, or form. So please don't take anything I'm saying as medical or professional advice. It's not. But I wanted to do a little bit more discovery here because it seems to be something that people are talking about. And it seems like this is a word that's thrown around very loosely. And I think by now everybody should know that you probably shouldn't be using the N-word. Again, talking about narcissism. But I looked it up. And so, again, not a doctor, just reading what the Google machine says. And yes, I am a lucky charm. But what are the symptoms of narcissistic personality disorder? And I don't know what they are. I think I know, but I guess that if I thought I knew everything, it would probably lend itself to me being a narcissist. And to be clear, I don't think I am one. But let's see what the symptoms are. Number one on the list is a sense of self-importance. And before I go into all of these items, I think it should be noted that I'm pretty sure everyone has a narcissistic trait within them. In fact, I would make the argument that if there was a human alive who did not have a narcissistic trait, their name would probably be Jesus. But outside of that, I think that most people have a balance of ego, of pride, of humility. And I think everybody's guilty of having a certain sliver of narcissistic traits, which I don't think makes anybody a bad person. I think it makes people human. But if that trait is massive and it overweighs or it is the dominant trait of one's personality, well, then that's definitely a disorder. And again, I'm not judging anybody. Actually, that's not true. I'm judging myself. So I'm interested in learning more. But a sense of self-importance. Well, I think it's important to understand that you're probably important. Now, I think there needs to be balance around that. I don't think you should take yourself too seriously, but you should absolutely know your value and know your worth. But anyway, it says sense of self-importance. Number two, preoccupation with power, beauty, or success. Okay. I should probably look up what preoccupation means because, look, I mean, I'll be totally transparent here. I don't know that I have a preoccupation with power, but I'm certainly interested in looking good. Certainly interested in being successful. I certainly work hard to maintain all of those things, although I don't think I'm exactly power hungry or anything like that. But I certainly like to be in control. I don't think I'm a control freak, but I can make the counter argument for all of these items. Anyhow, 1, sense of self-importance. 2, preoccupation with power, beauty, or success. 3, entitled. Oh, goodness gracious. I could probably go on for hours and hours about how I feel about entitlement, people who feel that they're entitled. If there's one trait that I despise more than any other, it is probably entitlement. I can tell you, well, on my own self-assessment, I am not entitled. I have worked very hard for everything that I have ever earned, and I do not believe in entitlements or entitled people. If you want to ensure that we are not friends, just act entitled. And we won't be. But again, no judgment. If you have an entitlement issue and you're aware of it and you own it and you want to change that about yourself, well, I think that's possible. So none of these are terminal conditions. It's just what I'm reading tonight about narcissism, or how to tell if someone is narcissistic. Because, again, I was called that once. I'm trying to think if it was more than once. Only once that I can remember, or at least only once to my face. Anyhow, so that's number 3. Number 4, can only be around people who are important or special. I probably should have done more research on who sourced this list, but everybody that I'm around is important or special to me in that moment, or I wouldn't be with them. And I don't understand number 4 at all. Everybody is important, and everybody's special in their own way, but that's number 4 on the list. 5, interpersonally exploitive for their own gain. Sounds like entitlement, but I don't think exploiting anybody is ever a good thing. So I agree with that one. But I also don't believe that I'm interpersonally exploitive for my own gain with anybody. In fact, I would make the argument that my values align more with what value, I'm using values, but in everything that I do, I want to provide value for whomever it is that I'm exchanging anything with. I think relationships are built on value, giving and receiving value, intentionally leaning in and providing value. So I just don't relate to anything other than that. So maybe that's my own personal stuff, but if you're not providing value at the highest level, and when I say you, I actually mean me. If I'm not providing value and I don't feel like I'm providing value, well then chances are I'm probably not interested in doing it. So number 6, arrogant. Well, I know lots of arrogant people, and I do not like arrogant people. I do like confident people, and I've heard people say that there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance, and I disagree completely. Arrogance is thinking you're the shit, and confidence is knowing that you are. But you don't need to go around telling it. You don't need to go pounding your chest telling everybody. It's just obvious. You're confident. And I've certainly been called confident before. 7, lack empathy. Well, I don't disagree with that. Number 8, must be admired. Well, well, based on the comments that I receive on a regular basis, I can absolutely, wholeheartedly, hand to God say that I don't need to be admired. I don't even necessarily even want to be admired. If I'm admired, great. If I'm not admired, great. At the end of the day, if I'm not your cup of tea, don't watch. It's okay. I love you anyway. It's all good. God bless. Good luck. Have a nice life. But I don't spend a lot of time worrying about what people think about me. What people think about me is none of my business. All right. Well, that's it for the list. It then launches into another page, which I'm not going to bore you with, but it's interesting because I feel like this is a label that's thrown around pretty loosely by people who are in relationships, and I don't think people understand what it actually means. But I hope I shed some light on that. And honestly, it's been a heck of a day. I did give some blood today, got my blood work done. If you are a middle-aged man, actually, I don't know why middle-aged man. I happen to be a middle-aged man, but if you're over 40 and a man, you definitely should be getting your blood work checked quarterly. You should make sure that you're optimally functioning. I think everybody who is alive should be aware of what their blood work is, should track it, should be on top of it, because an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. But I'm not here to preach to anybody. It's just what I did today. And then separately, one of the joys and gifts of social media is that you get to see what other people are doing. It's also one of the curses of social media. But I like to see when my friends are succeeding. I like to see when my friends are thriving. I like to be able to voyeuristically quickly just check in and see how people in my life are doing. And I did that tonight for a few seconds. And to be clear, I think it's real important that I limit myself to doom scrolling. I don't want to go down that wormhole. I know what an enormous waste of time it is, but I do allow myself some time to just kind of zone out and see how everybody else that I know is doing. And I noticed that an old friend, someone who I have not connected with in years, somebody who I haven't even thought of in years, but somebody who I used to play football with, and I think very positively of, I've got really great memories of, he passed away of cancer. And I'm not active in his life. I'm not, this is somebody that I knew a long time ago that I will always consider a friend. But it is a sobering reality that, a 45-year-old, what I thought to be healthy, vibrant man passed away of cancer. And it's just a good reminder that life is short. And it's time to live. And it's time to thrive. And it's time to get busy living. So I don't know that I had a point with any of this other than sending prayers to my friend, sending prayers to his family. It's funny, I was friends with his sister. I was friends with his mom and dad. I used to go to their house. I'm thinking of a lot of happy memories of way back in the day, but I'm sending my love and strength and prayers to him, his family, and to you. If nobody's told you today that they love you, just know that I do. And I hope you win the day, win the week, win the year. And I hope you max out your life. I hope you'll subscribe. If you'd like to contribute to the channel, then please buy me a coffee, but no sales pitch. I love you. See you on my next video.